Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera everyone. Before I proceed with the lecture on chapter 2, let me recap about what we have learned in chapter 1. If you still remember, we have discussed on the definition of finance and the financial management. We also have covered on the financial market, which consists of money market and capital market, in which the capital market has two types of it, which there are primary and secondary market. Lastly, we also learn on the types of business organization where we have sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation as type of business. Okay, now as promised, we are going to learn on the goals of firm in chapter 2. Before that, I am sure you have watched the video that I have uploaded where it highlights that operating a company without specific goals is tough and will lead to demotivation and failure in the future. Okay, so now let us start our class with the possible goals of financial management, where we have 4 possible goals of financial management, which the first one is the maximization of share price. Next, we have maximization of profit. The third one is maximization of sales, and the last goal is minimization of risk. Let us look at the first goal, which is maximization of share price, where it can be related to maximization of shareholders' wealth. In any finance class, the teacher will always say that the ultimate goals of financial management are the maximization of shareholders' wealth or shareholders' value. Okay, now let's go to the next slide, which explain on the primary goal of firm, where the primary goal of firm is maximization of shareholders' value, where the maximization of shareholder value can be defined as the primary goal is to emphasize on shareholders' wealth maximization, which translate to maximizing stock price. These statements suggest that to maximize shareholders' price, we must ensure that the stock price is at the maximum level, and only then the maximization of shareholders' wealth can be achieved. Okay, now we will go to the next slide, in which to achieve wealth maximization, the firms need to have these 3 characteristics, in which the first one, the firm need to have an efficient and low cost of operation. In any business, if you can minimize the cost of operation, you can maximize the profit of the firm. And if the business is able to be efficient in managing the business also can have more profit, which in turn will help company to achieve the wealth maximization objective. An example of being efficient in business is economies of scale, where the business produce in bulk, such as how IKEA is doing, to offer competitive price to their customer. Now, let us discuss on the second characteristic, which is the development of new technologies and product. To achieve wealth maximization, company needs to be innovative in order to produce new product that can cater the current needs and demands of the community. And with the use of the new technology, it is believed that it can help to minimize the cost, because when the company is keeping up with the current technology, they can produce more quantities, and normally the time taken to produce product can be minimized compared to old technology being used. That's why it is important to utilize the latest technology in business, especially when it involves minimizing costs and be efficient at the same time. The third one is in terms of providing efficient and courteous service. What do you understand by courteous services, class? For your information, it is related to after-sales services, which the company needs to offer the best service that the business can offer, because the company will feel appreciated and they will come again. That is the explanation of how to achieve wealth maximization. And now I will proceed to the explanation on the profit maximization on the next slide. Okay, we will now discuss on the second goals of financial management, which is on profit maximization. For profit maximization, it means that the firm must obtain profit as much as possible. It indicates that a firm should undertake all the activities which will give profits and eliminate others which will reduce its profit. There are three reasons on why it is important for the company to achieve profit maximization. The first is to maintain its operating stability. This can be explained by a business can only be able to survive in an unfavorable situation, such as economic uncertainty, like what is happening today, only if the company has some past earnings to rely to. The second reasons on the importance of profit maximization is company will be able to maintain growth. The firms which tend to earn continuous profit in the long run tend to produce their products according to current demand of the consumers, which in turn will help the company to sustain in the industry. While the last reason on how profit maximization is important is profit maximization is a reward to the stakeholders and stockholders, where firms need to satisfy the effort that has been made by the stockholders, which has contributed capital for the firm, and also the employees in terms of contributing ideas, and the public too in general. This will misguide managers where they might endanger the survival of firms by ignoring research or other intangible investment. Okay, so class, are you okay? If you're okay, I will now discuss on the last slide under chapter 2, which is about the problem of profit maximization. In this slide, there are 4 problems related to profit maximization. The first is time horizon. Second is timing of returns. The third problem is distributions of returns. And the last is risk. I will explain on the first problem, which is related to time horizon. The profit maximization approach normally does not take into consideration the long-term goals as compared to wealth maximization. This might be riskier since companies just focus on profit maximization, which is short-term in nature in compared to long-term sustainability in business. For example, if a company continues to operate their machinery, vehicle, or building without proper maintenance, it may be possible to increase the company's short-term profit, but the firm will have to pay for the price of the short-term savings in the future when the assets that I previously mentioned were no longer capable to operate efficiently because of negligence. Okay, now I would like to discuss on the second problem, which is regarding the timing of return. The problem of profit maximization is they did not consider the time value of money, which the value of return today cannot be equated with the value that might be received in 3 years from now. Okay? And the third problem related to the profit maximization, which is the distribution of returns. It means that the firm might have less profit earned since the profit will be distributed to pay earnings to the shareholders. Next, we will discuss on the fourth or last problem related to profit maximization, which is risk. Normally, to achieve profit maximization, firms tend to ignore risk factor in which it is more crucial for the survival of the company. Firms should be precise and clear on the risks that should be taken care by the company in order to minimize the risk to the company and increase the profit. Okay, so that's all for today, class. In our next class, we will continue with the third chapter, which is on the functions of financial manager. Okay, so take care, everyone. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Bye bye.